Welcome to CITAM Church Online, the anchored man. Such a joy to have you. The MBA told us vulnerability is not weakness. It's actually strength.
Oh, yeah?
And she's inviting us to an amazing meeting that will be happening on the 15th of October at the All Saints Cathedral, the Gathering of Men.
Gathering of Men.
You said something in our earlier conversation,
yes,
even
please.
as I invite you to introduce yourself, though you're already known. A broken man equals a broken society, a broken family, broken children, broken nation. How real is this brokenness?
Wow, first, just in case someone doesn't know who I am, this is Faith Nashipae.
Yeah.
I am the MBA, the Men and Boys Ambassador, and I also lead an organization called Thriving Communities Africa.
Yeah.
Well, now, Cole, you're asking a very good question.
Yes.
Men and brokenness. What is this that we are going to be talking about?
Yes.
What are these issues? You know, when you look at a man right now, men, the biggest story I have about men, from men, is that we have been neglected.
Okay.
And I feel them in a big way, because if you could listen to most of my discussions around men, the reality is that we start neglecting the man when he's very small.
Okay.
Before he becomes a man. When he's a boy, we start neglecting his emotional well-being. So we take him like a rock or a stone.
Okay.
When he becomes of age and he's in marriage, we treat him like an ATM. He's not, there is no feeling to this man.
Okay.
There is no emotion.
All right.
Yet the reality is that sometimes how you leave me feeling is what will make me want to call you and say hi.
Yeah.
Is what will make me want to come back to you and say, this is where I'm ailing. So this, when men dip into men caves, as they say, into those boxes of trying to sort out and trying to go through the deep turmoils of their lives, people do not understand them. The world does not just understand them. Because again, we women, we are not taught how to deal with men in our marriages. I have never seen a training that tells women this is how you treat your man. No, a 10 months program that tells a woman when you get into marriage, this is how you treat the emotional man. But what we normally talk about is the negative aspect, and we dogmatize the ego of a man.
Okay.
It's a natural thing. We only need to understand, how do we deal with this man? How do we go around this ego? Or how do we help him understand his ego and how it is affecting us and how it is affecting the community? And how do we put all these things together? And even us women, we have ego. So how do we work together as complementary and not as people who are fighting for equality or fighting for space, you know, because the minute we start fighting for space, then we collide. Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing to hear you talk about those hard things that we rarely talk about. And what is the implication of this brokenness, like in a family where a man is trying to lead a family to raise children, but then they are broken, there's some element of brokenness or wound in his life. Is there a possibility that that can be transmitted to the children or to the society and so on?
It is transferable to the children by virtue of children are people who watch and follow what they see parents do.
All right.
So the fact that this man, because he's broken, he will either become violent or become very subtle and passive.
I see.
So you find that because he's seeing an environment that is not really working for him, he wants to take a backseat. Or because he's seeing that the wife is this person who's very outgoing, she's all over, she's taking on bills. And I tell women, please don't take the man's work. Allow him to be. Just support him when he needs support, because we're supposed to be complementing one another, but not necessarily to take on and haggle everything that is available in the family, because by doing so, you're teaching this man to take a backseat. He will try and take his position, but if you push him too far, he will just take a backseat and fold his hands. Then after a few years, the woman feels the pressure. But what did she do? she pushed him because she felt that she had the power, she had the authority, she had the ability. She forgets that she was also empowered by these gentlemen. She forgets that whatever they are doing, they need to work together. Unfortunately, men take too long. Sometimes men take longer to process things that are being proposed by us women.
All right.
So in the process of them taking too long, we get impatient.
I see.
Because maybe we are operating within a certain limited time, and this man wants to take too long, and maybe how the issue was presented, or how the issue, or how the man is perceiving this, he's perceiving it as something that is going to overpower him in the family space.
All right.
So it is about presentation in many ways. It's also about how you have sat down and agreed on how you want to run the family.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Communication is very critical.
Thank you.
But all these things affect the man,
Yes.
and then eventually he starts affecting the society.
I see.
Because when he sits back, the woman is pressured.
Oh, wow.
When he sits back, the son sees that fathers sit back. So in future, he will also
sit back.
take a labor position.
Wow.
The daughter will always be working too hard because that is what she's seen the mother do, and men are supposed to sit back. So we are affecting the next generation by what we are doing right now.
Wow.
The man who's a drunkard, if the son does not become a drunkard, the daughter is likely to get a man who's a drunkard.
I see.
You know? So we need to be careful of what we are presenting to our children, because by our actions, we are coding into the next generation. For us to have a healthy Kenya, it is not so much of what we speak and scream about. It is how we carry ourselves around the children.
Amazing. You remind me of a quote that I had someone say, pain runs down a generation until someone steps up and stops it. And we have that opportunity today as men to stand in our gap, make a decision, and heal our families, heal our relationships, the community, and the society at large. Thank you for watching this video. Please plug into our next conversation. It cannot get any much better than it already is.
Oh, yeah?
Thank you, MBA, for being on the show.
Karibu sana, and everyone, welcome every man and every young man. Welcome on the 15th of October at the men's the men's gathering, and we are going to be having a wonderful time. Not just talking about real life issues, but we are also going to be presenting ourselves to God. Karibuni sana. This is going to be at the All Saints Cathedral, Trinity Center.